Is Portland Trailblazers basketball.
The homestand rolls on for Nate McMillan's Trailblazers. Sunday, Steve Blake's late-game heroics forced overtime, but Portland's winning streak was snapped. Denver says it's the hottest team in the West. Carmelo Anthony has led them to 6 straight wins. It's the Trailblazers and Nuggets next. And we're in Portland tonight. The homestand continues. Game 7 of the 8-game homestand tonight inside the Rose Garden. The Trailblazers take on the Denver Nuggets, who have won 6 in a row and are in first place in the Northwest Division. And welcome courtside, everyone. Mike Barrett along with Mike Rice. Thanks for having us on. Of course, Denver being red hot. Carmelo Anthony, a big reason why. 37 points on Monday night. A big reason why they are 10-2 in the month of January.
Well, even in December and January, he's averaged 30 points a game. This guy is #1 in fast break points. He's #1 in points from the foul line. He does a little bit of everything, and he's second on this team in steals. So Carmelo Anthony, you really have to have your A game to hold him around the 20-point mark. Of course, the guy that's supposed to do it tonight, Victor Kriapa, doing a little offense this year. 9 points in the last 3 games, 9 rebounds, shooting 50%. Victor, of course, tonight will have to do it on the defensive end as he did it against Kobe Bryant right there.
And take a look at the matchup, the McDonald's matchup. Carmelo, 26 points per ball game. Victor Kriapa, of course, we talk about him defensively. You mentioned a little offense, but when you look at the numbers, it looks a little uneven. But Victor's job is to stop Carmelo tonight. Well, this Denver team has been beat up all season long. Kenyon Martin, one of the guys that started the season injured, but he's now getting healthier, and they're starting to play better. No coincidence.
Well, without Marcus Camby, they're 11-7 because Kenyon Martin has started to rebound even better. His shooting percentage is up around 47%. The guy now is an intimidator. He leads this club in dunks, and that's what the Blazers have to watch out for tonight. Him running the floor and dunking the basketball. Of course, Zach Randolph has to get Kenyon Martin in foul trouble early. He has to go to the basket. He's second in the NBA in points in the paint in January. He's a guy that can do it from outside or inside, and he's been getting the assists lately, 7 in the last 2 games.
You see the numbers. Zach Randolph, 18 points, 9 rebounds, and Kenyon Martin just now getting healthy, 13.7 rebounds on the season. Well, Denver has really had Portland's number the last several years. They've won 8 of the last 9 in this series. They also blew out Portland on night 2 of the season this year. We'll see if the Trailblazers can get back on the winning track tonight following Sunday's overtime loss. It's the Blazers and Nuggets. Tip-off is straight ahead.
Best prices and superior service at 8 neighborhood locations. And by Coors Light. Taste the cold.
And back inside the Rose Garden, Trailblazers in Denver tonight. Portland 4-2 on this homestand, and a big reason why is the improved play at the defensive end. Here's Theo Ratliff.
Function of paying attention to detail. I think we struggled with that earlier in the year, and now guys are just staying focused and confident out there and know where they're supposed to be, and we're getting there, and that's a big key to defense.
Well, just all around, we're playing better team defense. We're digging down and getting stops, and then offense, we're executing. We're getting the ball to the right people, and hopefully, against Denver, it'll be good enough, and we'll come out with the victory.
Well, when we come back, we'll find out who the Gatorade X Factor is tonight. We'll set the starting lineups. Mike Rice will give us his keys, and we'll tip it off. George Karl's Nuggets go for their 7th straight win. Karl's former student, Nate McMillan, will have to have his team set to protect the home floor. Denver Nuggets and Trailblazers tonight. Before we get things going, got to get to the Gatorade X Factor. Mike Rice, who is it tonight?
Well, you either take a guy that'll slow the game down or a guy that can stay up with Denver that's going to run. And, of course, that's Travis Outlaw. In an up-tempo game tonight, he needs to score and rebound for the Blazers to beat this Denver team. Travis Outlaw, our X Factor.
Gatorade, is it in you? Now for the starting lineups, brought to you by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Coors Light, taste the cold. First for Denver. Starting a couple of point guards in the backcourt, but it has been working. Earl Watson, Andre Miller, Carmelo Anthony, Kenyon Martin, and Francisco Elson gets the start for Marcus Camby once again tonight. And the head coach, George Karl, was 32-8 after he took over the Nuggets last year. 25-4 after the All-Star break, and of course they are 10-2 this month. For the Trailblazers, Blake and Dixon, the Maryland backcourt, Victor Kriapa, Zach Randolph, and Joel Przybilla make up that front line. And Nate McMillan, who played under George Karl and coached under George Karl, the head coach for Portland. And we got to get you Mike Rice's keys to the game. What are they?
Well, stop the fast break. Anytime they get 18 points or more on fast break points, Denver wins the game. Carmelo under 40%. Make them take tough shots. If you keep them around 40%, you can run back on them. And points in the paint. The Blazers have to win this battle. They'll get theirs from transition and pick and roll plays. Blazers have to get it through Zach Randolph. And I'll keep track of those points in the paint.
I know you will. And fill-in statistician Doug Carter has come up with the stat of the night so far. Denver 5-1 in these jerseys, by the way.
Oh, well, they've lost one, so they're not undefeated in those things.
And the opening tip won by Przybilla, and Steve Blake controls for Portland. Blake coming off a great game against Dallas. 20 points, 8 of 16 shooting. Of course, he had the stretch where he scored 16 straight in the fourth quarter and overtime.
I'd like to see Kenyon Martin get into foul trouble right away in this ball game.
Zach Randolph takes the jumper over Kmart and hits. So Zach on the board early. Portland got off for that slow start against Dallas. You talked about the days off Portland had before that ball game and really started the game rusty. But tonight, get on the board quickly.
Yeah, everyone backs off Zach early. They want him to take that outside shot. Then when he hits a couple.
Przybilla blocks that shot by Miller. He was trying to back down Steve Blake. Kenyon Martin then off with his jumper. So obviously Denver's game plan exposed right there. Go down low to Andre Miller, who's a very good post-up point guard.
Yeah, he against the Blazers' smaller guards. Now when they have Watson in there with Boykins, they're the small team.
Ball got poked away by Martin. He kicked it right back to Watson. Earl going to challenge Kriapa and lays it in. Victor was in pretty good position for the block shot, but a nice high-arcing lay-in by Earl Watson.
You will not see anybody as good or better than Earl Watson on the ball defender. He is a great guard that can defend, and he of course played with Nate McMillan in Seattle.
Took Denver a little while this season to figure that out. Juan Dixon pulls the trigger from long range. It's a two-pointer, but it's good, and nice to see Juan on the board early.
Blake always takes the bigger of the two guards. Juan Dixon will take the smaller.
Przybilla blocks another Miller shot inside, so he's got Steve Blake's back early, obviously.
You can leave Elson and help out.
Carmelo's first jumper is off. Zach Randolph pulls down the rebound for Portland. So 2 blocks already for Przybilla, who averages 2.5, 6th best in the NBA. Dixon baseline, fouled on his way. Earl Watson's first foul. Watson came over in the off season.
Watch Joel here get off Elson and help out on this. Miller doesn't even see him coming. That's one of the easier blocks Joel will have all year.
Both of them have been that way. Kriapa down low. Zach Randolph the assist, and Victor jams.
They're making Carmelo play a little defense with a flex offense. They're running Carmelo off, and he's getting lost on that first pick.
Martin given the open look again and again, misses over Zach Randolph, and Przybilla another rebound for Portland.
They'll give you a lot of attempts because they'll shoot the ball a lot.
Joel down low. Victor missed everything except for Zach Randolph. Fortunately for Portland, Blake wouldn't take the three. Steve then takes the foul line jumper, which was a tougher shot, and he knocked that down.
Well, the scouting report said Blake can shoot it outside. All you have to do is look at the Dallas game, and now he's taking advantage of that. Little pump fake, and he gets inside.
Miller goes by him this time. Przybilla was there again, but a strong move by Andre Miller, who this time said, "You're not going to get your third block on me here early in this game."
career-wise, of all the guys playing the NBA, he's third in assists right now. Andre Miller had a lot of those with the Cavs early in his career.
Dixon misses on the baseline, and Carmelo Anthony brings it back for the Nuggets, who are 24-19 on the season. 3-2 against the Northwest Division. Beautiful move by Anthony that time. Got it around a couple of Trailblazers.
Boy, he goes around Kriapa, and Joel was waiting for him, and he used the rim for protection. Great move by Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo racking up the points in the paint here in January. Zach Randolph takes the jumper over Earl Watson. That is short, and Francisco Elson the big board. Carmelo leaks out on the break. Watson couldn't find him. Now tries to, and throws it out of bounds. Turnover, Denver.
Where they get you, if you're running alongside your man like Joel that time was running alongside Elson, you have to forget your man and get back into the paint and help out, because they'll have 3, 4, sometimes a 2-man fast break, but they always run.
Dixon back down to Prisbilla. Joel stumbled but got his feet and dunked with 2 hands. And they throw it away again. Andre Miller up ahead, tried to hit Elson, who was running the floor trying to beat Prisbilla back, and he was doing that, but it was not a good pass. Here's the pass by Dixon, which was a good pass.
Yeah, and early in the game, they'll play the straight pick and roll. Later on in the ball game, they do a lot of switching. So you'll have a lot of mismatches, big man on little man, but that's part of their defensive strategy. And late in the game, they're tough.
Zach Randolph working against Martin, puts it up and in. All 5 starters have scored. Then Blake the steal on Watson. Bad pass by Elson. Dixon with a hand in the face knocks it down. So give the assist and the steal to Blake, and 2 points for Juan.
Denver's a high octane type team, and right now the Blazers are shooting 70% as they try an alley-oop inside. But if they come out a little flat, they're not a good ball club. They depend so much on the fast break. They're number 2 in the NBA at fast break points. So if they come out and think they're going to beat the team, which they did, what was it, a 39-point win or a 29-point win the second game of the year?
I don't want to talk about it. 107-68.
Yeah, so right now, Denver thinks we're going to kill this team. We did earlier. We're going to do it again, and they need to really be playing their A game with energy, because the Blazers have been playing a lot of good teams very close the last 10 games.
Been beating a lot of good teams the last 10 games.
Absolutely, and they should have beat Dallas. I still, in my sleep, see Harris intercept that pass from Theo.
You're not sleeping well, I take it.
No.
Blazer lead 6 following the free throws. Pass stolen by Miller, then stolen back by Dixon and picked up by Kriapa.
6'8" guy getting back to help out.
Blake Dixon, Prisbilla with the jam. Beautiful ball movement by Portland.
You can get that. This team goes up Denver and shoots it quick sometimes, and you can run it back on them. But don't get in a completely running game.
Foul on Kriapa. He disagrees with the call by Ron Oleksiak. But let's take a look at the ball movement. Blake, Dixon, and Joel fill in the lane.
Highlight stuff, no doubt about it. That's play number 3 on ESPN tonight.
You hope. Ruben Patterson. Some early minutes. Victor Kriapa picking up his 2nd foul. We'll sit down. We talked about Victor in foul trouble tonight against Carmelo. Ruben Patterson coming in following an off night against Dallas, trying to make up for it tonight.
Yeah, he's fouled out of 4 ball games, Kriapa, with limited playing time, but that's his job. He is supposed to get very aggressive and use his body.
Watson tried to challenge Prisbilla, thought better of it, and kicked it out to Miller. They try to lob, then to Martin, and Prisbilla breaks it up. Anthony then at the shot clock. Buzzer is off, and the offensive rebound, Kenyon Martin tracks it down near midcourt.
They're not a great offensive rebounding team. They get around 13 a game, but the Blazers are the worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA. So once again, it hurts the Blazers not getting defensive rebounds.
Nice pass by Elson down low to Carmelo. Carmelo with 6 points now. And take a look at points in the paint early. Portland doing a good job there so far.
That's one of our keys. It's they get them, as we said, a lot of fast break points. So far tonight, they haven't got a lot.
Zach Randolph gives Dixon the pick. Both players come with him. Dixon still with it. Blake wouldn't take the 3. The crowd almost expecting it, falling at display Sunday. Ruben Patterson has his head taken off. Think Elson will pick up the foul. Either he or Kenyon Martin. They're going to give it to Kenyon Martin, which is fine with the Trailblazers. 5:55 left in the first quarter. Blazers on top by 6. And back inside the Rose Garden, Trailblazers and 76 quality Pro Clean gasolines have partnered to bring you a special offer of the game. We call it the 76 steal of the game. It comes during the second quarter of each Trailblazers game. It's on TV, that is. Specials offered only for a limited time. Mike Rice, you'll love the 76 steal of the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some good ones.
It doesn't involve bobbleheads, however.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's even better.
Maybe movies or dinners. Or...
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Man.
Take a look at shooting early on.
73-40. You can't beat that. Because the Nuggets, you know, they average 101 a game, but if you look closely at where they average that, they average 106 points at home and only 95 on the road. So they don't run as well. Only 17 fast break points on the road and 25 per game at home. So the Blazers and a lot of other teams try to slow them down with full court pressure like Blake is doing right now. They don't want them to get into the lane.
Miller all the way in again. Przybilla mad at himself. Thought he had that one timed. And Andre Miller, a nice start. 4 points. A couple of lay-ins from that left side to get the points.
Well, they put Fashawn Leonard right on the bench when they started Earl Watson. As our man hits from outside, because they'll back off you a little bit. They want you to shoot quick. And in this winning streak of 6 games, 3 of the teams they've held around 80 points. So George Karl's defense has improved in the late in the season.
Elson back out on top. Earl Watson has been hot from beyond the three-point line. This time it's off. Przybilla and Randolph fight each other for that rebound, and Joel wins.
That's a stat now. Joel's saying, hey, that's where I make my money, getting rebounds now. Get away, Zach.
Rubin double teamed. Kicks it out. Blake takes the 3, and that one's long. Rebound, Watson. Up ahead is Martin outrunning the Trailblazers in the fast break, and he gets the easy 2.
Zach's got to really watch for that because Kenyon Martin leaks out all the time when you take a shot, especially when they get Camby back Friday. He really starts running, and Camby averages 13 rebounds a game, so you can run with him back there.
Zach had it knocked away, got it back. Still time to shoot it. Missed that one. Ball tipped out by Elson, and a new shot clock for Portland. As Eduardo Najera will check in for Denver, Elson will take a seat.
Najera's been super for this team in Camby's being out. That's one reason they're 11-7. In fact, they have a better record without Camby so far this year. Now, I wouldn't want to go in the playoffs without him, but so far they've been able to exist because of Najera right there, his defense.
Randolph, a nice pass to Rubin, so another assist for Zach, and Patterson gets his second field goal.
Kenyon Martin turned his head that time and didn't know where Rubin was. And Zach, once again, nice pass.
And a foul. Away from the ball, I believe. No, defensive 3 seconds. It was Rubin's first field goal, but he had the free throw, so 4 points for Rubin.
Now, Zach waits for that double team. Now, there it is. There's Rubin cutting, and it wasn't the double team man that hurt Denver. It was Kenyon Martin turning his head. That's that Cincinnati Huggins defense.
Oh, really?
That's why they fired him. Too many guys turning their heads. No.
A couple of Cincinnati guys on the Denver roster. DeMar Johnson, of course, went to Cincinnati, and Rubin Patterson as well.
Rubin Patterson.
Earl Watson dances his way down the middle. Almost lost the handle. Andre Miller doesn't shoot many threes. Does a little bit of that, though. Misses that long. Rebound tipped by Blake to Randolph.
Blazers in the zone for the first time. Guards had to get back and help out.
Steve thought about the 3, now drives inside. Jarrett Jack has replaced Juan Dixon. Zach Randolph inside. Kenyon Martin blocked that. 3-on-1 the other way. Miller, Carmelo scores, and he's fouled. It'll go against Jarrett Jack, and a 3-point opportunity for Anthony.
That's what they do so well. Zach comes in here. The guards are inside because Blake just penetrated and kicked it out. When they get a blocked shot or a turnover, 65% of the time, Denver scores. They are not a good half-court offensive team, but they are one of the best in the NBA at transition. And they just showed the Blazers a little bit of that right there.
Good first shift for Przybilla. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocked shots. And Theo Ratliff in the ball game for Joel.
Well, the big guys, you need help from the bench with your big guys against Denver, because Denver runs so much that your big guys are running all from under the basket to under the basket at the other end. So it's great to have a Theo Ratliff in a game like this.
Shot clock at 8. Jarrett Jack. As Patterson has it against Carmelo. Denver doubling every time somebody has it on the block. Zach Randolph gets it on the baseline and hits at the shot clock buzzer. Gives Steve Blake the assist.
And they're showing respect to Ruben Patterson, double teaming him underneath, because off the bench, he's one of the best at second chance points and points in the paint off the bench.
I think the Trailblazers will give Kenyon Martin that shot pretty much as he wants it. He's 0 for 3 from the field so far. Zach Randolph off with the elbow jumper. Nahara pulls down the board.
I'm not sure what Cincinnati was in that time, and I don't think they knew what defense they were in. Not Cincinnati. It was a Cincinnati guy. Once again, I got that Huggins on my mind.
I thought you were trying to make a point. I was going to let you go.
No, yeah. That was Denver's zone. Huggins wouldn't have a zone like that.
Take a look at points in the paint. Denver now has cut it to 4. Watson on Jarrett Jack. Watson, not only does he have lightning fast feet, he's got lightning fast hands. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 2:06 left here in quarter number 1. It's game 7 of Portland's 8-game homestand. They've got a 4-point lead over Denver. Back inside the Rose Garden, Portland by 4. A little over 2 minutes left here in quarter number 1. Tune in tonight for FSN Live. But first, we give you the Aflac trivia question. Blazers set a franchise record for assists in a game in Denver in 1990. Blazers have been passing the ball better in this ball game tonight and lately. What is the number on that particular night?
Ooh.
Don't give me the ooh. I know you've already cheated.
So help me, I didn't see it.
Tune in tonight, FSN Live. We'll have complete coverage of this game from the Rose Garden. Plus, we'll hear what Mike Holmgren has to say about the Super Bowl. It's all tonight at 10, right here on FSN.
Well, so far in the assist battle that you're talking about, Blazers not doing bad, because this is the #2 assist team in the NBA, this Denver team. So if the Blazers can stay even in that department, right now it's 7-5 Blazers favor, and they almost had a great assist right there as Theo Ratliff went up. Nice pass from Travis Outlaw. That's what Travis has to do. Be aware of what's going on around him. He's so nervous about making a mistake, Travis Outlaw. He's too mechanical. That time he saw a cutting Theo Ratliff and hit him.
Sebastian Telfair also in, by the way. Steve Blake getting a break for Portland. So it's Jarrett Jack, Telfair in the backcourt. Ruben Patterson, Travis, and Theo Ratliff.
Sebastian comes in the game and thinks, okay, I'm going to be playing against their second unit guard. But in this case, Earl Boykins is not a second unit guy.
Boykins in, Greg Buckner in as well, along with Anthony, Kenyon Martin, and Nahara. Boykins 5'5", #1 scorer off the bench in the NBA.
When Boykins can do it, it's tough to handle him. He's a scorer, although he's 5'6" or something. He scores.
Carmelo going to challenge Ratliff. Theo blocked the shot. Martin gets it back, scores, and he's fouled. So a good defensive play by Theo. Not sure if he'll get credit for the block. He certainly affected the shot. May have gotten a piece of it. But Martin all over it again. We take a look.
They lose a little bit of rebounding by taking Kriapa and Joel Przybilla out. Blazers defensively are just as good with Ruben Patterson in there and Theo Ratliff, but not rebounding wise. And that's where this second unit gets hurt sometime. That's the 4th offensive rebounds force this Denver team tonight. We've got to keep track of that, because that's an area the Blazers are weak and Denver is strong.
Denver 5 for 5 at the free throw line. Portland 4 for 4 so far. The lead now down to 3. Patterson holding. Denver doubling nearly every time. The ball's on the baseline. I was going to say low block, but it's even been farther out than that. Outlaw along 2. He loves that baseline shot and shows us why.
That's the X factor in the game, and we didn't think it would be against, because they were playing a zone. But George Karl went to that zone as soon as he saw Jack, Sebastian Telfair, and Ruben in the game.
Carmelo hit on the arm, scores, and he's fouled. Good call by Ron Oleksiak on the baseline. Ruben got him on the wrist as he went up. Didn't matter to Anthony. He's got 12, looking for 13 now.
You don't want him to catch it right here in the elbow. You've got to force him out before he catches the ball, and you could see he hit him, tapped him right on the elbow on the follow-through. Good call by Oleksiak. And already Carmelo has 12 points. You saw our interview in the pregame show. They asked Carmelo about that 81, and he said, well, if you're hot, your teammates should keep giving you the ball. Carmelo right now is 13 points, and he's hot, and they're in that 1-2-2 zone. George Karl loves to go to, and he'll change his zones up. 2-3, 1-2-2, drop back.
Ruben scoops with the left hand and scores.
One Cincinnati guy to another, put it in Kenyon Martin's face in that zone. That zone hasn't looked good so far, but Blazers.
Carmelo might have been blocked from behind. Might have been Travis Outlaw. Portland looks to run.
I think it was the Travis man.
Ruben down the middle, nearly scored, but he is fouled. So free throws coming for Patterson. Good fast break attempt by Portland against the #1 fast breaking team in the NBA.
Those camera guys keep getting in the way under the basket.
Hey, give him a break there.
I thought
it's combat duty down there.
I thought Ruben would have made that foul shot, but the camera guys got out of the way. They're quick.
Jeremy's got those yellow shoes down there that you love so much, and he moved them very quickly.
I thought he was sick, like George Karl was before the game. I don't know why George was thinking about not coming. What do you? He's not going to shoot jump shots tonight or anything else. Look at those shoes. I mean, those shoes would be banned in most states. Oregon, very liberal state, so you can wear
You're
them.
right about that.
And that's why I live here.
I know it is.
Earl Boykins hasn't been able to get loose so far tonight because the Blazers are also playing a zone, and Earl can't go one-on-one. That's why the Blazers are in that zone.
It's nice to drop the other conversation before it got political. Greg Buckner in the corner leans in, and that's home. Buckner's been playing well, playing about 22 minutes off the bench, and boy, when they can get field goals from Buckner, they'll take it. Patterson, 2 seconds left, goes to the hoop and scores. Went right past Nahara. I don't think Denver thought he was going to do it. Carmelo from half court. Oh, it nearly went down. But a good first quarter for the home team. The Trailblazers trying to get back on the right track after falling in overtime on Sunday to Dallas. 33-27, the Trailblazers on top of Kmart, Carmelo, and the Nuggets after one. And back inside the Rose Garden, Blazers on top by 6 as we got ready to start the second quarter. Come join the Blazer Dancers, the street team and the fangirls this Saturday at McGillicuddy's on 111th and Halsey. We'll be giving away tickets to the February 3rd big game night when the Blazers take on Minnesota. Be sure to come wearing your Trailblazers gear. Autographed merchandise will be given to the fan wearing the most Trailblazers merchandise. The fun starts at 7 p.m. Well, the Blazers 8 assists on 14 field goals already in this game. Good ball movement.
Oh, it's great. Anytime the Blazers are ahead of their opponents in assists, but when you give 8, you're really moving the ball well, and that's what you have to do against this Denver defense. If you start going one-on-one, they're pretty good on-the-ball defenders. But if you move the basketball like the Blazers have moved it in this first half, that's how you end up shooting 67% for the Blazers in this half, and I'm most interested in the turnovers. Blazers only have 2. This Denver team usually forces around 16 a game. They're one of the best in the NBA at that, and they usually get about 8 steals a game, and the Blazers are kind of aware of that and doing a nice job in those areas.
Jarrett Jack out top on Boykins. The cutter is Kliza. He has the shot blocked by Ratliff. And it's picked up and saved by Theo to Travis, and now Jarrett Jack with it. Jack blows by Kliza, lays it up and in. And we'll tell you a story about Kliza and Jarrett Jack because
draft night, huh?
That's how Portland got Jarrett Jack. It was Portland's draft pick that took Linus Kliza out of Missouri. When Denver made the trade, I was talking to a couple of Denver people earlier on the media side, and they were saying, why did we do that? Foul inside. This is on Jarrett Jack, but there is Linus Kliza. He's from Lithuania but went to Missouri. He was traded. The 22nd pick was taken to select Jarrett Jack right there, and then
And the two guys.
Denver got the 27th and the 35th picks, which was Kliza and Ricky Sanchez. And Kliza obviously stuck. Boykins takes the jumper and hits.
You got to get out. When they set Nahara or Kliza set a pick, that's the guy that has to step up. Boykins needs help to get his shot, and the bench points so far, that's when the Blazers really do well, when their bench starts scoring.
Ruben, strong move inside, and he's fouled. Carmelo Anthony can't handle Ruben on that low block. And Carmelo really upset about the call by Matt Boland. Speaking of Kliza from a hometown that produced some pretty good Lithuanian players, if you know. Guys like Šarūnas Marčiulionis, Arvydas Sabonis, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, all from Kaunas, Lithuania, Linus Kliza's hometown. And we'll take a break. When we come back, we have some free throws. 10:50 left here, first half. Steal of the game time. It includes a dinner, a game, and a movie package. You guessed it right, Mike Rice. It's a pair of red section tickets to these games: San Antonio, Boston, and Dallas. Plus, you get a McCormick and Schmick's gift certificate. Plus, you get 2 Regal Cinema movie passes. All of that for $76. Call now, 797-9600.
Can you wait a minute while I get on my cell phone? That deal is too good, too hot.
You've never paid for a ticket in your life.
Well, I was going to call a friend.
I don't even think your friends pay for tickets. Ruben off with the first free throw.
And Ruben, you know,
and second free throw.
Yeah, he's so good he's number 1 off the bench in free throws attempted per game. He's already tonight passed his average of 5 a game, and that's why he's so good for the Blazers when he comes in for Zach, as Nahara hits from the top. But he changes the way the Blazers play out there. He gets very aggressive, but he's got to make those foul shots. He's down around the 60th percentile.
Outlaw, his fadeaway is off. And Denver back the other way looking for more. Kliza had it blocked last time for Ratliff. This time he gives to Boykins. Kliza, the offensive board, had it stripped away, got it back, and scores with the right hand. So just like that, the Nuggets back to within 2. Trailblazers shooting 65% in the ball game, and the lead is only 2. That's a little concerning.
Yeah, and once again, Ruben Patterson, Travis Outlaw, they've got to hit the defensive boards.
Oh, nice pass. Patterson to Ratliff, who put it down. Wasn't sure what Theo was going to do with that. He thought about dunking it, instead just laid it up. Nahara already has had his fill for field goals for the night. Missed that one. Telfair blows past Boykins. Tried to leave it and turns it over. Thought somebody was behind him. Here comes Miller the other way. Kliza down the middle.
Once again, the turnovers and the defensive rebounding for the Blazers. You can't do it. You can do it against some clubs, turn it over. But this team, every time you turn it over, they score at the other end.
4 points for Kliza. Denver again back within 2. Here's Patterson. Denver still doubling every time.
Yeah, and that's what George Karl will do. He'll make you be a passer out of the double team.
You were talking so much about Portland taking care of the ball. 4 turnovers now. Miller, Kliza again. Flips it in again. So Kliza 6 points, and it's a 10-2 Denver run.
And against this second unit that the other night didn't do a real great job in the Dallas game.
Timeout on the floor. Nate McMillan will talk with his second unit about just that during the timeout. We're tied at 37 now. Back inside the Rose Garden, we're tied at 37. And if you didn't hear me a few moments ago talking about the 76 steal of the game, here it is again. 76 steal of the game includes dinner, game, and a movie. It's a pair of red section tickets to the game on February 1st against San Antonio, February 24th against Boston, and March 9th against Dallas. Plus, you get dinner at McCormick and Schmick's and 2 Regal Cinema movie passes. All of that for $76. 797-9600 is the number to call right now. Tim Grgurich, the former Trailblazer assistant coach, working with Linus Kliza there, and we saw Gerg out on the floor early as always.
He can speak Slovenian.
Well, that's odd since Kliza is Lithuanian.
Yeah, and he can do that also.
Okay.
Yeah, because Tim Grgurich, he coached at University of Pittsburgh, and A lot of Lithuanians back there in Pittsburgh.
Right. You coached against Tim Gergerich when you were at Duquesne, and he was at Pitt, and you guys had some knockdown, drag him out type battles.
Played against each other at Pitt
and again had some
we really had some battles then.
Telfair, 3 to shoot. Puts it up over Nahara for 3, missed everything. Ball out of bounds, shot clock violation. Portland, not a good possession out of the timeout.
They're forcing the Blazers to play freelance basketball, and Nate is over there biting his nails because they weren't in the first quarter. Now the Blazers are forced out of everything, and George Karl is changing up his defenses as we see Juan Dixon coming back into the game.
Boykins down the middle. The high arcing shot over Ratliff is off. Nahara, terrific offensive rebounder, opts to reset, and he gives to Andre Miller.
Once again, Theo Ratliff had to help out on Boykins, and no Blazer came crashing in to get the defensive boards. That's Zach and Patterson's job.
Dixon waits at the table. Randolph double. Jarrett Jack, tough 2, and it's good. Jarrett Jack's so good in that foul line extended area, and he knocks that one down for his second field goal. He has 4. Take a look at the more opportunities this quarter for Denver, and that's because of
the turnovers and rebounds on the offensive board. Early in the season, that really bothered the Blazers. It hasn't in the last 10 games.
Kleesa runs down Ratliff. He knew the way to take it to a shot blocker is to do just that, take it right at him, and that time a little too aggressive.
Right now, Kleesa has to show George Karl he can play as he barrels in there, because Marcus Camby comes back Friday, and there won't be much time left. As Vashawn Leonard found out at the guard position, they didn't know what to do with Earl Watson. Now they play Earl and Vashawn Leonard a step slow on defense anyway. George Karl didn't like it. He liked his shooting, not his defense.
Juan Dixon right off the bench, Long with the jumper. Andre Miller the rebound. They look to push. And Telfair, a nice job to slow down Miller. They throw it away down low. Dixon, Telfair, Patterson. Sebastian lays it up and in. Nice job by Patterson to screen off the would-be defender.
Yeah, and maybe he should have gotten the ball. A big guy runs like that, let him have a layup.
Now every Trailblazer who has played in the game has scored. Greg Buckner, Kenyon Martin traveled with the ball.
That's not Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo's been out of this game a long time, but ironically, that's when Denver made their big move to get back in there when Carmelo wasn't in there. So sometimes you can take your scorer out of the game and you do a little better team-wise, and Denver has so far in this ball game.
They try to lob to Patterson, does Dixon. Kenyon Martin easily knocks it out of bounds. Francisco Elson in. Linus Kleesa, very nice shift for him. He'll take a seat.
Yeah, it really was. And Denver's doing it. They're fronting the post. They do a lot of different things on defense. They switch just to get you out of your flow of your offense. They want you playing wild like they play.
Ratliff going to take it right on Elson. Had the ball knocked away, got it back, and was fouled. Elson doesn't like the call by Matt Boland, but Theo will be shooting free throws.
Yeah, and both hands were pushing him on that. Good call by the officials. Elson's done a nice job. He came in there. They've had a lot of injuries. I know Kenyon Martin, I think, missed 11 games earlier, and you know, they've needed a bench. The way they play also, they're so wild up and down the court. They turn it over 15 times, but they create 16 turnovers. That's what they want to do. They're not worried about turning the ball over. They're worried about the tempo of the game. So they have to play like they're playing right now. And the Blazers' second unit are letting them play wild.
Ruben Patterson, 9 points off the Portland bench, 3 of 3 shooting. He takes a seat. Victor Kriapa back in. And 1 of 2 this time for Theo. Portland now 6 of 10 from the foul line as a team. They were so good from the foul line against Dallas, 13 of 16. Earl Boykins traveled with the ball and kicks it out to Greg Buckner. He wouldn't take the 3. Buckner takes the lay-in. Ratliff gets a piece of it on its way, and it's goaltending called out top by Ronalizia.
A lot of attempts by both teams in that paint. They're not settling for the outside jumper. That's a good thing for both coaches. That's why they're shooting at pretty good percentages, both of them.
Dixon back to Zach Randolph. Zach had a hot start and has been quiet since. Martin on him. Telfair back to Zach. Shot clock getting down there, and a foul on Martin. And that'll be his second foul, and that'll be the third team foul on Denver.
Now notice what George Karl has done there. Now he was double teaming anybody that caught him in the low post, especially Ruben Patterson and Zach Randolph. Then the last two times down, they didn't double team the low post. So they want your team to be able to recognize, your guards recognize what they're doing. And that's why they were trying to fool Sebastian Telfair in there. Now Blake is back in the game.
Starters on the floor with the exception of Presbilla. Theo Ratliff stays for Portland. Steve Blake, pass inside. Ratliff trying to gather and hits. Nice shot by Theo with the shot clock winding down.
He looks like a guy named Walton that used to play here in Portland. That running one-hander.
Martin, tough shot with the left hand, little scoop. And he got that home. Kenyon Martin now with 9.
He had 25 in the last game against Toronto, but that's probably not a lot compared to
25 and 12.
Yeah.
And fouled out.
What that guy named Kobe did against that Toronto team the night before.
Oh, that's right.
81. Can you believe that? 81.
No, still can't. Juan Dixon, Steve Blake. The open three is off. Randolph, the offensive board, and put back. Earl Boykins quickly back the other way. They leave it for Kenyon Martin. Not a good shot. Ratliff trying to keep it alive. He gets the rebound for Portland. Will the Trailblazers try and push back as Krialpa takes a spill? Dixon down low to Zach Randolph. Miller in the area. The cutter is Blake. Not a good pass and a push in the back. And that's why it was overrun by Steve. So this will be the fourth team foul.
Zach means well, as you see Zach right here, just outworking Elston on the board. He got inside of him. Zach was looking down when the cutter went, and he passed it behind him. The pass should have been made down the baseline, but Zach is trying now. I mean, he's really picking up assists when they double team him, and that's a great thing for the Blazer offense.
You saw the obvious push in the back by Elson. There's another pass with good intentions on it, but turned over. Anthony then lobs to Martin. That's a terrible pass, and they turn it over.
And that's Carmelo's thinking to himself. George Karl is saying, don't pass it as much, and Carmelo's thinking, don't worry, I'm never going to pass it again.
And take a look at where the pass ends up here.
Well, if
popcorn everywhere.
Yeah, and if the referee would have had good hands, he could have caught that ball.
A little cleanup there courtside in the corner.
Get that guy with the yellow shoes. He's not doing anything.
Dixon down the middle, lays it up and off. Ratliff follows it home. What a move by Dixon just to get to the hoop and not have the shot blocked by Elson.
A little of their own medicine as their big guys were helping out on the driving Juan Dixon, and Blazers clean up on the boards.
Boykins created some space between he and Blake and dropped it down. So Boykins with 4 points. That's his second field goal.
You know, it's really a battle on the board. I mean, off the bench between Ruben and Boykins.
Nice pass inside. Krialpa scoops it up and in. So a little two-man game. Krialpa and Juan Dixon.
But you can't rest because they come right back at you, whether it's a make or a miss. They're one of the teams in the NBA that run on makes. Them, the Suns, and Dallas all run on makes.
Andre Miller. This is how they started the game, with him posting up Blake. Takes a tough shot. This one's off. Good rebound by Ratliff. Now Portland looks to push back. 3-on-3. Blake, the bounce pass down low to Dixon. He puts it home. So give Steve another assist, and Juan Dixon has the offense going in the quarter. 8 points, and this is Portland's now largest lead after Denver had fought back to tie things up at 37, 52-43. Blazers by 9 thanks to Juan Dixon and Victor Krialpa. Trailblazers now at their largest lead of the game of 9, 52-43, under 3 to play here first half. 76 steal of the game. Your time is running out on this one. Get a pair of tickets in the red section, no less, to the games against San Antonio, Boston, and Dallas, plus a McCormick and Schmick's gift certificate and 2 Regal Cinema movie passes. All of that, just $76. 797-9600.
You don't get a nosebleed in the red seats now.
No,
here.
You don't.
Yeah, these are, you know, you can reach out and smell the cologne of the players. They still wear cologne, don't they?
I don't know. And there is the owner of the Trailblazers, Paul Allen, who was whooping things up in Seattle just a few days ago.
And he'll be whooping it up in Detroit.
Yeah, his Seahawks going to the Super Bowl.
Nice if everyone went to the Super Bowl, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know, you got a day off. You could fly up.
Yeah, it's if I had a little help.
You know people in Detroit.
Oh, absolutely.
Kenyon Martin wants to challenge, and Ratliff blocks the shot, and Carmelo got it back. Steve Blake was off to the races with that ball, and Portland had numbers, but what a block.
Oh, Steve Blake would like to have it all over again. Theo blocks the dunk, and Steve lost the ball, and they get 2 points on that. The crowd would have been crazy.
Oh, and one-hand lob to Ratliff. Where did that come from?
He blocks a dunk on one end and slams it in the facial on the other end.
And a foul on Kriapa coming back the other way. Holy cow, Theo Ratliff turned back the clock. Take a look at this. Martin tries to pack. Theo says no. And then, well, you take another look at this one.
And usually it's a two-handed block that Theo specializes in on the facial. But this one is a one-hander, left-handed. Take my left hand, young man.
And then look at this. The pass from Juan Dixon, and Theo with one hand and Earl Watson draped all over him. Controls it and slams it. So, oh, what a play by Theo. He got 11 points and 6 rebounds so far in this ball game. Couple of block shots as well.
That's what I said. Against this Denver team, you've got to have bench help against them. Because if you stay fresh, let's look at this. Oh, I'll tell you what.
Did he go up high for that or what? His head was right at the rim.
Yeah, Earl Watson looked like he was a YMCA player. Just hanging on the leg of Theo Ratliff. But you can run against fast teams that run all the time like Denver. You can run back on them, and that's why the Blazers have 54 points so far in this first half.
Clock issues have been worked out. Ruben Patterson guarding Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo 14 points, only has 2 since that first quarter flurry. Rebound Theo inside off the Anthony miss. Dixon to Ruben Patterson. Ruben has Earl Watson on him. Ruben tells Dixon to pull the trigger. Rebound tipped by Ratliff out top to Blake. Steve then tries to go down low. It's tipped away by Earl Watson. Ruben Patterson, as Juan Dixon was trying to tell him, Ruben, you have Earl Watson on your back. Take him on the low block. And Ruben was trying to give the right away to Dixon.
He's a little leery because they've been double teaming. Oh,
we had to see it again.
I had to see it again. Ruben's been getting double teamed every time, so he's a little gun shy, and he's looking to pass the basketball. As so is Zach right there.
Zach doubled. Portland trying to move it. Dixon saves the possession. 4 to shoot. Juan to Steve. Back to Dixon inside, who floats, and it's off. Rebound Ratliff. Third opportunity for Portland. Zach for 3. No. Ruben keeps it alive inside. Blocked by Martin. Then Zach comes from behind and scores on the putback. What hustle by the Trailblazers.
Great board work, and we said if they don't have high energy, Denver, they're in trouble tonight, as the Blazers almost had another opportunity to take one down on the fast break.
Approaching the 1-minute mark here in the first half. Martin fades foul line. Kept alive by Nahara, and they get a second chance.
Nahara, that's what he does better than anything else.
Number 1 rebounder off the bench in the NBA.
Yeah.
Offensive rebound.
Yeah, he works so hard.
Theo, offensive foul as Ratliff had position, and that's 3 fouls on Carmelo Anthony.
Just like the other night against Nowitzki, Theo Ratliff did a great job at the end of the game on one of the best, and right there, look at that. He moves his feet. Carmelo is number 3 in the entire NBA in getting his shot blocked. There's nothing wrong with that. Allen Iverson's number 2, and when Darius Miles was playing, he was in that category. You have to be aggressive, and if you are, you get your shot blocked occasionally.
So 12 points for Carmelo in the first quarter, just 2 in the second, and now he's on the bench for the final 30 seconds. Shot clock at 8 for Steve Blake. Steal from behind. Nahara took it away, then does some fancy dribbling. Gives to Watson. Watson waits inside, gives to Kenyon Martin, who jams.
Once again, turnovers They average their second in the NBA, Denver, with 8.5 steals a game, and they're showing the Blazers right now. This is probably a 20-second timeout. Nate wants to get that last 2 points.
15 seconds left. Portland will hold for the final shot. So what do you design here if you're Nate McMillan? The Trailblazers shooting 60% for the half. Juan Dixon 4 of 9, Zach Randolph 5 of 10, and the bench has been fabulous.
You know, right now you'll find out how much Nate McMillan, how much trust he has in Zach. They want to give the ball to Zach, but they know Denver's not going to let Zach score. They're going to double team him. Now, does Nate have enough confidence in Zach's ability to pass out of the double team? That'll be the instant case right here.
Well, the G.I. Joe's action stats look this way.
22 rebounds for the Blazers. That's why they're ahead in this game. They're outworking Denver on blocks, not on steals, 6-3.
G.I. Joe's 23 locations throughout the Great Northwest. Remember, your favorite season begins at Joe's. Charles Smith checks in to give Portland a three-point threat, and he can either be that or he can be a decoy to stretch the Denver defense.
Right now, then, I like a high pick and roll with Zach and put the shooters in the corner if they have this lineup in the game. They won't go to Zach down low. They'll go to Zach high pick and roll. He'll pop out, and they'll put Smith and Juan Dixon in each of the corners.
And just having Charles in there spreads the floor. Charles is wide open in the corner. Blake with 3 seconds. A long 2 is off. They try and keep it alive, and it is off. And that brings it close to the first half. But a good half for the Trailblazers, and the crowd certainly enjoying the hustle by the home team as the Blazers trying to improve to 5-2 on this homestand. Denver, they've won 6 in a row. Blazers trying to put that to an end tonight. 56-47, Portland on top here at the half.
.com.
And back here in Portland as this homestand continues and halftime continues, the McDonald's halftime show back here inside the Rose Garden. Blazers on top, 56-47. Denver had fought back to tie it at 37, but they never did grab the lead in that first half. Welcome back courtside. Mike Barrett back with Mike Rice on blue shirt night. Did you notice I accidentally wore Denver colors tonight?
Yeah, I noticed.
But it's working
that
so far.
Yes.
Carmelo Anthony, 12 points in the first quarter, and then just 2 in the second quarter. Is that something Portland did to take Carmelo away?
Yeah, they're not letting him touch the ball in his favorite spots, and he's only been to the foul line 4 for 5. Normally, Carmelo Anthony early in the ball game will get to the foul line a lot more, so the Blazers are doing a nice job, but that's where they really have to watch out for in the second half. His fast break points, only LeBron James has more fast break points than Carmelo, and he'll be running in this second half and also trying to get to that foul line. We'll watch those two things.
You know, Theo Ratliff is 1 rebound from a double-double at halftime. 11 points. He's the leading scorer in the ball game for the Trailblazers.
If you look at Joel and Theo together, because they haven't been in this game apart, they're 6 for 7 with 4 blocks. Theo has 15 minutes of play, and boy, when you look at those two as a combination center, they're just doing a great job as you see Theo blocking shots on one end, dunking on the other. He's the guy that gave this Blazer team in the first half so much energy, and that's why Nate McMillan played him 16 minutes. He's the energy guy for the Blazers.
Well, we've talked a lot about ball movement so far in this ball game. Blazers average 18 assists per game. They've got 14 at halftime of this one. When we come back, we'll have all of the first half stats. Blazers on top by 9, 56-47.
This is a Standard TV and Appliance Blazers memorable moment. May 10th, 1977 was the date, and the Blazers were on their way to one of the NBA's greatest upsets in the conference semifinals. The Lakers entered the series with the league's best record, but they ran into a red-hot Portland team.
Lucas for the steal.
Both teams back on the floor getting set for half number 2. We take a look at some Century 21 stats. Century 21 real estate for your world.
That's why you have to be a little nervous if you're Nate McMillan. 58% shooting and you haven't broken this game open. Free throws. Blazers doing a great job getting to the line 10 times. Not shooting a great percentage, but getting to the line is important in this game. Rebounding, they're ahead of. That's another stat. The Blazers, if they stay even, will win this game. Bench points. There's Ruben Patterson and Theo Ratliff doing their job. Points in the paint favor the Blazers. That's a big, big stat.
NBA's scoreboard looks like this.
Cleveland came back and beat the Atlanta Hawks. Cleveland hot 2 in a row.
They destroyed Indiana last night.
Yeah, the Bulls coming back. They've been cold as of late. Detroit wins their 35th game, 35-5 in overtime over Milwaukee. Can you believe that? Sacramento, and they come back and win one in overtime without Peja, who was traded today, and they finalize that trade. They'll get you-know-who coming up this week. Washington beating Boston. San Antonio ahead in the third quarter over New Orleans. That'll be their 32nd victory. Houston, Tracy McGrady back 102-78 over Charlotte. Minnesota just falling apart, losing to Memphis tonight. Seattle really scoring a lot of points the last 3 ball games, 105-91 over Utah. Golden State beating Dallas, and the Clippers beating New Jersey.
Well, off the top of the show, we talked about a big matchup in this ball game. It was Zach Randolph and Kenyon Martin. Martin has been playing so well. Let's revisit this matchup and see where things stand now. Both players in double figures, but they've kind of canceled each other out with the exception of the assists. Zach with 3 nice assists and some good offensive boards for Zach, too, 3 of them.
Yeah, and that's important. That assist total. Zach is now a better passer than Kenyon Martin. Before, his game was very similar to Kenyon Martin's. Now Zach passes much better.
Well, Joel Przybilla early on played very well for Portland. He had very nice shifts. Theo Ratliff and Joel have had a very good game. Joel had 2 blocks right off the start of this ball game, but ended up playing only 8.5 minutes because of the strong play of Ratliff.
Yeah, they just couldn't get Theo out of the ball game because Joel was really playing well, setting good picks, blocking shots, rebounding. But then Theo got in the game, and but when you have a 2-headed monster like the Blazers do at center, that's why the Blazers are getting phone calls.
And I remember when the Denver Nuggets played here in Portland last year, soon after George Karl took over, Theo Ratliff and Joel Przybilla were playing a lot at the same time, and it was a rough ball game for Carmelo Anthony. Portland won the game, and Anthony said afterwards, he said, I got tired of taking that ball into the paint because those guys just tear you up.
There's Portland. There's Marcus Camby. He, of course, was cleared to play in this ball game by the doctors, but he said, I won't be ready till Friday. Boy, you're right about the last year with Carmelo, but Blazers just didn't have enough offense with those 2 big guys in the game.
Good defense by Przybilla, and he is called for the foul. That's not a good call, as Joel Przybilla merely slid down baseline and cut it off. And Denver will inbound. It's Joel's first foul. First team foul, obviously. We're only 15 seconds into the second half. Francisco Elson takes a long jumper. Carmelo grabs the offensive board for the Nuggets.
I'm not sure how Steve Blake got on Carmelo Anthony, but he doesn't want to stay on him long. Oh. And that Blazers were not sure of what defense they were in that time. You don't want that to happen too often when you got a 9-point lead.
George Karl teams always concentrate on starting quarters and finishing quarters, so we'll see how they continue now, trying to get a run back here. As I said earlier, as Blake tries for 3, it's off. Denver fought back to tie it at 37, and then Portland had a nice answer to that. Anthony draws the foul on Steve Blake, so just like that, potentially 4 quick points for Denver in the first minute here of the second half.
Yeah, and you can see right here there was mismatches all over the place. Kriapa was not supposed to be on Andre Miller, and Andre Miller, being the good assist man that he is, 8.5 a game, found Kenyon Martin underneath the basket. Now the Blazers have to, and you know, looking at the stats in the first half, Steve Blake was the only Blazer that was not shooting 50% or better in that first half. He's now 1 for 5, and his shots have all been good shots. He just hasn't been able to knock it down.
So the 9-point halftime lead is quickly down to 5.
Yeah, you want to make them work a little harder to come back in this game than they are.
Earl Watson on Blake out top. Shot clock already down to 10. Zach Randolph, top of the key jumper, is well short. Kriapa keeps it alive for a second opportunity. Blake takes the jumper and hits.
See, Steve Blake early in the year wouldn't have had enough confidence to take that shot after missing the earlier one, but he knows he's got the confidence of the coach and he's not going to be yanked out of the game, so he took that open shot.
Down goes Kriapa, and the foul is on Kriapa.
That sounded like the old fight guy. Down goes Kriapa, down goes Kriapa. And Ali stands over him.
That'd be Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
15 on the shot clock now for Denver. Victor spends a lot of time on the floor.
Well, look at it. He's fronting Carmelo Anthony. He's making him work hard.
They can go baseline right into Presbilla. Boy, Carmelo got away with a push-off on Presbilla, and they get 2 points from Martin.
Tough for the guards to come down there after the help out by the Blazer big guys and out-rebound Kenyon Martin. That's what he does best. He intimidates guards and rebounds them.
Zach asks for the ball against Kenyon Martin. Double team comes. Portland swings out of it. Kriapa going to dance down the middle. Now Zach from 18 feet. That's off. Presbilla, though, the offensive board, and Portland a second chance.
Yeah, when other teams help out on the Blazers' penetration, that's when a guy like Joel has to rebound. Good offensive rebound.
Dixon up top draws the double team. Randolph, he's doubled. Presbilla's down low, tried to pack it. Elson blocked the shot. It's dug out by Martin. Watson inside to Martin, who lays it in.
That's the plus of having 2 point guards in the game. Andre Miller or Watson can find the open guys.
9-point lead is down to 3. Blazers by 3, 9:29 left here in the third. Fans Les Schwab and the Blazers want to recognize high school athletes who are stars because of their athletic participation, sportsmanship, and leadership. Visit the contest page on trailblazers.com to nominate someone you know for the Les Schwab High School Star Athlete of the Game. Help is on the way. Darius Miles has been working out and has been practicing lightly with Portland. He could likely return, Mike Rice, right after the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think with the way his operation, I think he would be very close to coming back if he didn't have the infection. But he's shooting and pushing off very well.
Dixon into trouble, triple teamed, still with it, got to do something, gets Miller in the air, hits the tough shot with 1 on the shot clock, and the Trailblazers need that.
Yeah, and I don't know why. They had a great double team on him, and they all left, and they left Andre Miller to check him by himself. Once again, Kriapa fronting Carmelo Anthony down low, and then they'll run him down the baseline to get a double pick on the other side.
Carmelo from outside. No, rebound Zach Randolph. Carmelo Anthony still just 1 field goal since the first quarter.
And no foul shots here in the second half. That's the most important thing. He wants to drive it to the rim. Kriapa won't let him.
Zach Randolph. Martin and Anthony in the area. Portland swings it to an open Juan Dixon. Wouldn't take the 3. Elson's on him. Juan then loses the ball to Carmelo. Then Zach steals it from Elson. Randolph gets undercut by Miller, and Denver comes up with it, and they call double dribble on Andre Miller. Dangerous play as Miller right through the knees of Randolph. Good hustle play by Miller. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but
yeah, he's
very dangerous.
He's a hard-nosed player, and Juan Dixon dribbles it into trouble. Boy, there was a lot of bumping and grinding and pushing, and the crowd thought maybe Andre Miller did undercut him and should have gotten a foul.
But it all works out as the Trailblazers get it back on the Miller turnover. This Denver defense pounding Portland inside. Anytime anybody touches it inside, they doubled and tripled, which means that's got to happen, and Steve Blake drills the 3.
Oh, this is a different Blazer team from the start of the year as far as ball movement, recognizing double teams, kicking it back out. They're just doing such a great job. Of course, Steve Blake didn't play the first 8 games of the year, and maybe that has something to do with it.
Patterson the near steal. Carmelo, they swing it. Earl Watson for 3, and it's off. Rebound Presbilla.
Earl Watson, their best three-point shooter, 41%. Blazers not giving him a lot of time to get his feet set.
Patterson. Randolph fakes the pass to Dixon and then rims off the 2-point shot.
That's all right. That was a nice, good open shot.
Andre Miller wants Blake in the low post. Portland now doing a little double teaming. Miller swings into the corner. Earl Watson just looked like 1-3 fly. Wouldn't do it this time. Instead finds Elson, who's fouled hard. Good foul by Juan Dixon. Przybilla came up to take the slashing Watson. That left the mismatch. Dixon on Elson.
Yeah, they had all kinds of problems early with their two-guard spot. Vashawn Leonard wasn't playing the great defense. Earl Watson wasn't playing at all. They were talking about either play me or trade me type talk. But it was the same with the Blazers at the start of the year. Not sure who the two-guard was going to be. Martell Webster started some games. They went big with Darius Miles at the two-guard, and then all of a sudden Juan Dixon showed them that I'm your two-guard, and that's what Earl Watson has done with this Denver team. I'm your two-guard, although I'm a natural point guard. I can play the two.
Nelson 69%. Free throw line hit the first. By the way, you mentioned a Martell Webster. As Elson makes a pair, Martell Webster had a very good game last night for the Fort Worth Flyers of the NBDL. Had 18 points on 7 of 11 shooting. I talked to Kevin Pritchard, the player personnel director, this morning on the phone about it. He talked about how well Webster played and how it was obvious, as it should be, that he was the best player on the floor last night. And Sergei Monia also a good player.
Yeah, he had 7 field goals also.
They're playing Monia at the 4
to
try and get him some shots, and it's working.
And the minutes were good. 29 minutes that Martell played last night. A lot of minutes, and they're 4-0 with the 2 guys on that team.
Dixon down low.
Boy, Nate McMillan wanted a certain play and probably
Shot
get
clock
Zach.
at 2. Randolph fades and hits. So the lead back to 8. Talk about the answer out of the timeout that Nate McMillan was forced to call her.
Yeah, and he got the ball going to where he wanted it. He wanted Zach more involved in the offense.
Carmelo spins inside. Przybilla helped the end to kick to Watson, who fires for 3. And boy, that's well off. Watson has been shooting the 3 well, but not in this ball game.
Well-designed defense. Get the ball out of Carmelo Anthony's hands. He had 37 the other night. And if he gets 37, Denver usually wins. Tonight, the Blazers keeping him to 12 shots.
Randolph. Again, shot clock winding down. What a shot by Zach. He just threw that up, and Portland again by double figures.
I don't know how far you go back, but it looked like Oscar Roberts stopping on the dime and putting that ball back. That's another Indiana guy.
Blazers double team. Watson, can he find it this time? No. Keep firing. Przybilla grabs the rebound.
We may see Vashawn Leonard before this game's over.
We're going to see Earl Boykins next dead ball, I can tell you that.
Yeah, they're right. Earl Boykins will be in there at that 2 spot handling that basketball.
Dixon draws the double. Zach Randolph from 3. Short. Patterson trying to save it. And the ball is off of who? The officials come together, and they're going to give it to Portland. So credit Patterson with the hustle. As now Boykins comes in, it's Andre Miller who will take a seat. This is that last shot we were talking about by Zach.
Yeah, this is not Zach. When he puts it on the floor and stops and shoots, it's
jumped
because
off the wrong foot too.
Yeah. And great defense that time by Kenyon Martin. Martin just shook his head. He said, that's not part of the scouting report.
Randolph at 14. Ball knocked away. Trailblazers will have it back. Zach 7 of 16 from the floor, 7 rebounds and 4 assists in the ball game.
Yeah. And the Blazers not cutting off their picks like they were about 4 or 5 games ago when they really worked on it in practice.
Patterson doubled. He kicks to Przybilla. Here's Juan Dixon from 15.
Oh, now that's great stuff right there. Ball goes from one side of the court to the other. The only way you beat Denver is getting the ball from one side to the other. Make their defense move around.
Anthony runs down Patterson. Earl Watson wouldn't take the 3, and Dixon steals. Blake down the right side, lob to Patterson, no! Rebound Martin. He goes on the floor after it and takes a timeout. Boy, a good attempt by the Trailblazers on the fast break, but what an answer by them after Denver's initial push. Portland has its largest lead of the game, up 12. Back inside the Rose Garden, little tap dancing during the timeout. Blazers by 12. Wells Fargo, official financial partner of the Trailblazers, proud to take its customers to the next stage. Now they're taking us to the next game. It comes up against New Jersey Friday night. Same bat channel. 34 on Comcast. 7 o'clock, 6:30 for FSN Live.
Half man.
It's Zach Randolph, half man, half a season is coming in to take on the Trailblazers. Zach Randolph had a couple of difficult field goals in this third quarter, but they've been big, and his first two came right in the middle of a Denver run.
Well, Denver, Kenyon Martin, he'll muscle you, he'll push you, he'll bump you, so you got to be a little physical back with your shots, and Zach is waiting. Now, he won't take that shot very often, but when you can put that in, keeps it honest. Look at Zach Randolph's line. Good, almost 50% shooting, 7 rebounds, 4 assists.
Boykins back to Carmelo. Can he get on the board? And he does here in the second half.
Now, that's a change in philosophy right there for the using Carmelo Anthony in the pick and roll, high pick and roll. They're trying to get him the ball somehow.
Blake in the corner. Trailblazers have had double digits leads several times in the second half on this homestand, and they have not been able to sustain. We'll see if they can here. Watson has Anthony with him, lobs it up. Not a good pass, but Carmelo adjusted and put it home. So credit Denver with the answer out of the timeout this time.
If you're going up the middle, don't get the ball whacked away from you, Jarrett Jack, because Denver is so good at turning turnovers into baskets. So you've got to watch your turnovers against this, and they'll start taking chances, Denver.
Przybilla with the deep position. His left-handed hook is off. Rubin follows it home.
And that's what the Blazer bench did. They outworked this Denver team in the first half. Notice Nate McMillan's not substituting his guards quite as quick tonight, at least the point guard position.
Rubin, the fourth Blazer, into double figures. He has 11. Carmelo. Earl Watson tries another three. This one's nowhere near. Watson 0 for 5 from beyond the three-point line now.
No one has a three-pointer in this game.
By Denver, anyway. Jack off with that. Blake has 1 for Portland.
Oh, does Blake have 1?
He does.
I missed that.
Watson 2-on-2. Foul by Blake. Przybilla blocked the shot, and Joel telling Steve Blake, let him go. I had him sized up when he rejected that shot.
Right now, the Blazer fans getting on Carmelo. He comes over.
He slapped 5.
Yeah. The good All-American players will talk to the crowd. Carmelo over there talking to a Blazer fan. Referee is making sure it's all in good fun, and it is. Look at that. The fan stands up. And
he's
now
coaching.
Yeah, he's saying you should shoot more and pass less.
We have a Robin Thicke in the making here.
Yeah, I love it.
I haven't seen this before.
I love Carmelo Anthony smiles, so he must have had some good trash talk.
But he also moved.
Yeah. That's one of his teammates came over and said, they're getting into your head, Carmelo. Look at, there's the press. As soon as Naharad comes into the game, they go into a press. Boy, he just hustles. He's there, Ruben Patterson, off the bench.
Telfair in for Steve Blake, by the way. You take a look at the free throws this quarter. That's what Denver does. Shot clock starting to wind down. Not a good pass. Jarrett Jack dug it out. And then it's Portland ball as it's off Carmelo with 3 to shoot.
Too much dribbling by the Blazers. We said they're a great dribble defensive team as Doug Moe gets up off the bench. They woke him up and told him there's a game going on. Oh, he was great. Great Denver.
He'll come after you. Zach had that knocked away out of his hand, and it's a shot clock violation, Portland. And that is the Trailblazers' 10th turnover of the game. Denver has 11.
Now, Sebastian, he's got to take over this team and organize them to get them into the game. And there's Doug Moe, of course. They got Tim Gergridge on that staff. They got an excellent staff. Scotty Brooks.
Yeah.
They're all excellent X and O guys for this ball club.
Portland lead 8. Denver looks to draw closer. Boykins to Carmelo. Telfair now locked up with Carmelo Anthony. Blazers stay with that, and Carmelo knocks down the jumper. And if he gets hot, it'll be danger time for the Trailblazers. Theo Ratliff waiting to check in. Denver has really turned up the defensive intensity.
Well, I know Sebastian doesn't want to hear this, but in the Dallas game, the Blazers were 3 up when he went in the second half, and they lost that lead, and they were 10 down when Blake came back in.
Zach, trouble with the ball. Anthony the near steal again, fighting the shot clock. Zach off with that, and it's a shot clock violation. Never hit the rim. So whatever Denver did coming out of that timeout moments ago has really confused Portland offensively.
Yeah, it's just not a lot of ball movement going on now. A little more dribble movement. And Denver thrives on that. Kenyon Martin is good on the ball defender. Watson, who just went out of the game, is one of the best in the NBA. So you've got to run your original stuff and then start moving the ball.
Now he's talking to Kenyon Martin, and Kenyon's giving him a stare down.
That's that. Kenyon is.
Kenyon, the shot clock's at 18, and you're still talking to a fan. That's the important thing.
That's what you want to do. Get their heads.
Boykins backs down Telfair and hits in the middle of the key. So the bench unit again. When the two benches have come in, it's been advantage Denver.
Yeah, Rubin has played well. He's hustled well, but the Blazer bench tonight hasn't been outstanding.
Travis a long jumper with the shot clock at about 16. Here comes Boykins. Greg Buckner. Kenyon Martin. Will he take the shot again? Yes, he will. Kenyon gets away with a push off on Telfair and, Carmelo, and lays it in. So the lead down to 2.
Yeah, and they're just kind of making the Blazers look disoriented on the offensive end. Now they have to see, they're double teaming the Blazers, taking them completely out of anything, trying to make them freelance. Now the Suns with Nash in there would love this. They know how to go against it. But the Blazers, you see Nate McMillan steaming, losing that lead that he had just 3 minutes ago.
Jarrett Jack, tough shot. It's off. Rebound, Nahara. Denver looks to run again. It's a 2-on-1. Martin jams with 2 hands.
Well, and I'll tell you,
we're tied. Denver has never led in this game. They tied it earlier at 37, and Portland responded with a nice run.
Yeah, this second unit hasn't run anything organized yet. They're working high pick and roll right now, and I don't know if you want Theo to catch the ball out there, and that.
Outlaw loses it, somehow gets it back, throws it up out of bounds. It's off of Denver. Portland will have it with 4 to shoot, but you talk about quality shots. Portland hasn't gotten any in the last several minutes.
And this is why it's tough to coach a young team. You want your guys to get their playing time, to get the experience. But Nate McMillan's looking at this second unit, shaking his head, saying, ooh, man.
Jarrett Jack stepped on the sideline. Turnover, Portland, number 12.
George Karl did such a great job, 32-8. They finished the year last year under George when he took over. Jeff Buzdelic, who's coaching at the Air Force now, did a nice job the year before. Then he lost some games, and they brought Michael Cooper in. And
Boykins with 3 seconds left. Anthony takes a 3. It's off, and that'll do it for quarter number 3. So the Trailblazers never do lose the lead, and we're now tied. Denver still hasn't led, but they're starting to heat up. Can the young Trailblazers answer and get another victory on this 8-game homestand? We're tied at 71 as we head to quarter number 4. And back here at the Rose Garden, Blaze doing his stuff during the timeout. We're now tied at 71. The Trailblazers' largest lead has been by 12, and Denver has not led in this ballgame. But now we're tied once again. Mike Rice, how does Portland get the momentum back?
Well, maybe get some assists. They only had 3 assists in that third quarter. They had 8 in the first, 6 in the second. That second unit really didn't pass the ball well, and Denver left their starters in that whole third quarter to go against the Blazers' second unit. That's the difference.
And Carmelo Anthony heating up as well in the ball game. Take a look at the quarter scoring. 24-15 the score in that third quarter for Denver.
Yeah, that'll do it every time. And the shooting goes down to 35% in that third quarter. So the Blazers leave these guys in it because they don't want them to think that they can't play with Denver, but I know the first unit is ready to come in.
Buckner, a near steal on Jarrett Jack. Again, trouble with it. The Nuggets all over Portland, and now Ratliff and Greg Buckner tied up momentarily, and the foul's going to go on Earl Boykins. That's his first foul, and that is the first team foul of the fourth, obviously, for the Nuggets.
George Karl looks down at Nate McMillan, who was yelling. The aggressive defense has paid off for Denver in this second half.
Telfair, Jarrett Jack wouldn't take the 3. Shot clock again.
No spacing.
Shot clock at 3. Patterson lays it up and in. Big shot by Ruben with the left hand.
Yeah, Denver kind of let him go. No double team on Ruben as he took that left hand right up the middle. First breakdown for Denver defensively in this second half.
Switched off. Outlaw has him. Outlaw trying to block the shot. Boykins a little short. Rebound. Boy, Ratliff a nice job to grab it after he'd lost it. And Theo has his first double-double since December 27th of 2004. 11 points, 10 rebounds for Theo.
Ball not going from one side to the other on the double teams like it was earlier.
Telfair. Tough leaner at the foul line. He got it.
Well, that's one way to do it. Not high percentage shot, but you know, he became aggressive. Now he wants the Blazers to play a little defense. You got to play on Boykins. He's the key right now.
Boykins gets the pick. Nahara. Carmelo against Patterson. Carmelo dances down the middle, flips it up off. Good defense by Theo Ratliff. Trailblazers 3-on-1. Jarrett Jack lays it up and in. George Karl wants time. So this time it's the Trailblazers who respond out of the timeout, and the crowd is on its feet as the Blazers have restored half of what was their largest lead of the game, 77-71. Well, back inside the Rose Garden, Trailblazers answering back after Denver had tied it at 71. Nuggets still have not led in this ball game. Aflac trivia question we asked you earlier. Trailblazers set a franchise record for assists in a game in Denver in 1990. What was the number of assists in that ball game?
Assists. The Blazers average around 17 this year. So I'm going to double that, 17, and then I'm going to add a few more. I'll say 41.
49. You cheated and still didn't get it right.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't look.
Well, you were close then.
Yeah, no,
49 assists, though. Blazers average 18 on the year.
That's a big number. This team averages around 23 assists.
Andre Miller got 2 Blazers in the air. Beautiful move as he pump faked twice. Ratliff was the guy who he wanted to get off his feet, and he did.
Nate did not panic. He showed some confidence in Sebastian, left him in the game.
Oh, Denver couldn't find Ruben, and he stretched it out and got it home. And Telfair with the steal at the other end from Boykins.
Now don't shoot too quick now. Make Denver work on the defensive end.
Ruben says, give it to me.
Illegal D.
On Andre Miller, who dropped down below the foul line for longer than he should have, trying to help out on Patterson. And now Jarrett Jack will shoot the technical foul.
And Sebastian, this will help him later in the year. Nate could have looked down the bench and put Steve Blake back in, but he stuck with Sebastian, and it paid off. Sebastian was yelling at his teammates, firing them up on the defensive end. If the offense isn't going good and you're young, you got to play some defense, and Sebastian had led this team in that area.
Telfair with it, working with Ratliff. Jarrett Jack down low. They want Patterson again. Miller again in the area. They skip to Telfair. Wouldn't take the 3, takes a more difficult 2, and leaves it short. Shot clock was down to 1.
Yeah, he had to shoot that one, but it did go side to side.
Miller pulls up over Theo, leaves it off. Elson, the offensive board, missed the shot, but a foul called, I think, on Telfair on the other side of the hoop. So Francisco Elson will shoot free throws.
And I know they work every day, this fine Blazer coaching staff, on trying to get Travis and Ruben to really defense on that rebound on that defensive end a little bit more. They're both better offensive rebounders than defense. But where they need them, with the shot blockers, Theo Ratliff in the game or Joe Przybilla in the game, they need those forwards rebounding, as Elson is a bad foul shooter. Boy, and that's another amazing fact if you look at their stats. Earl Watson is their best three-point shooter and one of the worst foul shooters.
Yeah, 57% from the free throw line, 41 from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, and it's, you know, sometimes foul shooting is an amazing stat.
Elson misses a pair, and Portland lucky to get that bounce as Ruben overran it a little bit and caught another piece of the rim.
That's good. You want to try to push it up to double digits. That would have been down to 4. Now it's back up to 6. And they're going through Rubin, and Rubin's kicking out of the double team.
Travis, a deep 2. That's home. Outlaw with the big jumper. His 3rd field goal. He has 6.
Give Rubin the guy that really created that whole basket by passing out of the double team.
Andre Miller, the cutter, lost it on his way, but the foul is on Travis, who bumped him. Second team foul on Portland. And the second foul on Travis.
This is the ball movement, and here's the X Factor guy coming in, and he stepped inside the 3-point line where he shoots 5% on this year. So he did a good thing by stepping in and had a better, more reasonable shot.
See the Portland run to answer Denver's run. Andre Miller, 72% at the line on the season. Jarrett Jack sits down. Juan Dixon, who has 12 points, checks back in. And here comes Zach Randolph as well. Who will he get? He'll get Ruben Patterson. Good shift for Ruben. Ruben has 15 points.
Yeah, great shift
in the ball game on 6 of 8 shooting, and the countless scrappy plays as you come to expect from Ruben.
Yeah, and they made Denver double team Rubin so they could get some easier shots. That all came about after Nate called that timeout.
1 of 2 free throws. Boy, good save by Travis. That ball was nearly out of bounds again to Denver. Those are the little things we talk about. And Travis that time saved it. Telfair, skip through move, going to challenge, throws it up. No, but a blocking foul called on Nahara. Boy, a quick, lightning quick move by Telfair, and nice to see him get his aggressiveness back. At the offensive end, Nahara disagreed with the call, to put it mildly. And Sebastian on the season, 76%.
Now let's see what. It's close. That's a close call right there, because Nahara will stand and take a hit. He is one of their more physical players, Nahara. Second young man from Mexico to play in the NBA. You know who the first was?
Yes, played for Phoenix.
Yeah, he did.
Big guy.
Yeah, Lamas.
Lamas.
His son.
Horatio Lamas. Almost led Lorenzo Lamas, but he's a substar.
Yeah.
2 free throws for Telfair.
Skidis Vila was traded for Nahara. What a great trade that was for this Denver team, getting Nahara for Skidis Vila.
Greg Buckner for 3. That's long. Good box out by Telfair, and that opened the lane for Theo Ratliff to grab that. Kenyon Martin walks to the table. He'll check in. Next dead ball. Telfair blows past Boykins. Here's Travis again from 2, and he hits again.
And he shot over Boykins. He made the shot he should have. Sebastian penetrates, kicks it out. They went away from the offense, but Travis Outlaw recognized that he had little Boykins on him.
Boykins tries to draw the foul, nearly threw it away. Outlaw was there for it, but couldn't gather it in. Carmelo Anthony and Kenyon Martin coming back in for Denver. We take a look again at Portland's last offensive set.
Great pass and a great shot by Travis Outlaw. And they suffered, Denver, because they played their starters the entire third quarter. They took them out for a rest. Blazers put their starters back into the game, except Sebastian. And early in the fourth quarter, the Blazers took advantage. So
look at the bench points this quarter. Foul on Travis Outlaw. That's his 3rd, and the 3rd team foul on Travis's. The Trailblazer heckler, new to the building tonight, is back at it with Kenyon Martin. Foul on Travis Outlaw. Nate McMillan is furious and has good reason on that one. Ronald Lisiak blew the whistle on Travis. And look at Nate.
Well, now they're taking advantage of the younger Travis Outlaw, and the refs are giving Carmelo, who's throwing his arms up in the air, and you got to be physical. Travis has to be physical with him. You know, don't let him have position.
Andre Miller, Carmelo takes a 3. That's way long and well off and out of bounds.
See, and because he was physical with him, he took that outside shot. He didn't want any part of Travis Outlaw and his new formed body. Does he have a new formed body?
I suppose he does.
Bobby Medina's working with him now. Yeah. He works, Bobby Medina.
Not a good pass inside. Dixon, though, got it back. Buckner still on him. Juan takes a tough 2. Buckner got a piece of it, but ball's loose. And it's out of bounds to Portland. Boy, fortunately, I think a lot of the players thought there was going to be a foul call. Just kind of let that ball hit the floor. Outlaw, though, and Carmelo jumped on it and Fortunately for Portland, it went out of bounds off of that man.
How many foul shots Denver shoots in the rest of the game will, if you look at three-pointers, no one's shooting those. But if Denver shoots a lot of foul shots, they could win this game.
Well, which is Juan Dixon, tough two off the board. Ratliff trying to keep it alive. Denver back 3-on-1. Andre Miller gets fouled by Telfair. He'll shoot free throws. And that, I can tell you they're going to shoot a lot of foul shots because Portland already is in the penalty.
Yeah, and that's what George Karl's strategy was when he put Boykins in the game with Andre Miller. The two of them got real aggressive going to the basket, and they win a lot of ball games that way. They run, and finally, if you get a little bit tired against them, now they start shooting foul shots because you start fouling them, trying to stop their fast break. So the Blazers.
Look at Carmelo, or excuse me, Kenyon talk to the heckler here on the courtside seats for Portland. Kenyon Martin didn't even watch the first free throw. He spent the entire time talking to this guy.
And the referees are telling him, don't pay any attention to those hecklers. Hey, those are our hecklers.
That's right.
Let them be.
Andre Miller makes a pair.
There hasn't been many hecklers in Blazer history.
No, not enough, in my opinion.
They have guys that wear funny tie-dye shirts, but not hecklers of the refs.
Telfair still in, still running the points. Did a nice job in getting Portland to build this lead back. Zach Randolph double team. Dixon swings to Outlaw, swings to Telfair. Sebastian called for a travel in the corner.
The double team, Nahara pushing Zach away from the spot he wants. The double team worked that time. So the Blazers maybe get a Steve Blake in there to shoot the outside shot.
Steve Blake is checking in. Andre Miller hangs and hits. Tough shot over Telfair. So just as soon as Portland, well, we've seen this the entire game. As soon as the Trailblazers get the lead back to double figures, Denver starts chipping away again.
Nothing in the set offense, Denver. That's all one-on-one.
Zach had a shot blocked by Nahara, and they save. Miller with Anthony on his left. Carmelo the catch, and short on the finish, but gets it back and puts it in.
See, they're just outworking the Blazers now. Travis Outlaw a little bit tired in the ball game right now. Carmelo beat him down.
5-point lead once again. 6:03 left in this ball game. Welcome back. Blazers by 5. 6 minutes left in this ball game. Tomorrow it's a college hoops doubleheader. First up, USC takes on Oregon State. Then UCLA battles the Oregon Ducks. The action starts tomorrow at 5:30 right here on FSN. Well, Mike Rice, we've seen this familiar theme at times in this homestand. The Trailblazers in games against, well, Toronto, Cleveland, Orlando, built sizable leads in the second half, and in fact in the fourth quarter, and never did have a comfortable victory. And that just unable to sustain. I guess that's the trademark of a young team.
You have to step up your intensity level. I know that's a phrase used quite a bit, intensity and energy, playing with energy, but it's the truth in the NBA. It's not X's and O's at the end of a ball game. It's your energy level, and you could see Carmelo Anthony, Earl Boykins, Andre Miller, their level of intensity has gone up. And if the Blazers don't match that intensity level, they'll be run right out of the gym here with fast breaks and getting to the foul line. So right now, the Blazers have to come alive and perform. And Zach Randolph is being outworked by Nahara the last 2 minutes also.
Dixon, Carmelo, excuse me, Kenyon Martin was in illegal defense land for beyond the 3 seconds. No call. Steve Blake in the corner. Blake, tough shot, fades, hits the side of the board, gets it back, but the shot clock had expired, so it's a turnover for Portland. So again, Denver's defense effective, and that was out of a timeout.
Yeah, they put some tough guys in the game. Buckner, Nahara. Blazers matched them with Ruben Patterson. The problem was they double-teamed Zach. The Blazers swung the ball. Ruben went in to post up, and they had no one in the far corner to swing the ball to, so the defense outworked the offense that time.
Carmelo back to Kenyon. 5.5 left.
They have to leave Kenyon and help out on Carmelo. Theo Ratliff in the middle, and Andre
Miller, another strong drive, and he gets that home. Andre Miller now at 13 in the game, and the lead is down to 3.
Points in the paint so big right now for both teams. Who gets the easy ones?
Zach down low. Patterson trying to bull his way in, got it back, fell to the floor. Rebound Buckner, or at least he grabbed the loose ball, and Denver looks to draw closer. Kenyon Martin takes the jumper and hits. It's a one-point game again.
Well, now Nate McMillan's trying to think of what will work against, if I go into Zach, they're going to double team him. Maybe the high pick and roll with Zach out front and Nate and Ruben underneath.
10-0 Denver run. Portland has answered all of Denver's runs. We'll see if they do here. Juan Dixon, tough shot. The floater is off. Theo's tip is off, and here comes Andre Miller one-on-one. Lays it up and off. Rebound. Miller's out of bounds. Portland ball. Boy, Blazers dodge a bullet there as Miller in the open floor with the smaller Blake on him. Andre wants a foul called. And Kenyon Martin was trailing the play. Might have been the better option.
Well, they get a lot more easy baskets than the Blazers. That's why you'd have to favor Denver right now on the fast break and getting to the foul line, because they're so used to doing that.
Zach inside off the glass. Nahara went for the steal. Zach got the nice seal on it, put it off the glass.
And you said it, partner. He got a nice seal in the pass down the baseline. He looked like Karl Malone on that particular play.
16 points for Zach. Greg Buckner gets loose. Andre Miller finds him.
And that was great. Andre Miller has been so aggressive with the dribble. They backed off him and gave him room to pass to find Buckner underneath.
Denver has won 6 in a row, 8 of their last 9.
Notice they're not going behind the pick and roll like the Dallas did with Blake.
Dixon draws the double out top. Zach's alone down low. Nice find by Juan Dixon.
And finally, Nate has found the key. Bring the ball into the middle from the middle.
Somebody has got to find an answer for that man, Andre Miller.
Maybe
who's been fantastic going to the hoop.
Yeah, maybe Joel Przybilla, who was a little bit fresher maybe now than Theo.
He has played big minutes. Kenyon Martin on Zach Randolph. What a move, and Zach called for the travel.
Maybe that's why it was such a good move.
Maybe.
You'd have to look at his feet in instant replay. There's a great pick right there. And Nahara didn't know who to check. Theo on the pick and roll or Zach in the middle. He was kind of, all right, let's look at the, yeah, he moved the pivot foot.
Not much.
Not much.
Miller again traveled with the ball as Theo Ratliff came to help.
Boy, and Andre Miller does that so well, except when he has a Clipper uniform on. He did it with Cleveland. He didn't do it with the Clippers. I think he was trying to get traded in that era of his career. And he did. And now he's with this Nugget team that's 10-2 in January and making a big run with Camby coming back Friday. This could be the team to beat in the second half of the season, like they were last year when they got knocked off the playoffs by San Antonio in a tough 6 games.
Blake got Randolph down low, and Andre Miller takes it out of his hand. Blake fouls out top on Miller, and that's going to be free throws. 2:45 left, and when we come back, Andre Miller will be at the line trying to give Denver its first lead of the ball game. .245 left. Portland's lead is 1. Fans come see the Trailblazers dancers perform at the Jeep and Chrysler displays during the Portland Auto Show this Saturday, January 28th from 2 to 3 o'clock p.m. at the Convention Center. The Blazer dancers will perform, sign autographs, and take some pictures with fans. So Andre Miller now to the free throw line. Miller on the night 3 of 4 at the foul line. He's got 15 points and 6 assists, but also has 4 turnovers. But free throw shooting, as it always is, will be so big down the stretch. But Denver a chance to grab their first lead of the ball game. They've tied the ball game on 2 occasions, at 71 and at 37. But after both times, Portland has come back with a nice run of their own.
Yeah, they're going with a more aggressive team in the ball game with Ruben and Zach in together with the regular starting guards and Theo. Andre Miller, an excellent foul shooter in the 4th quarter. So a guy that usually That's why Earl Watson isn't in the game now. He doesn't shoot foul shots well at all, just above the 50 percentile. But they've got Buckner in there with Andre Miller, 2 more physical guards to stop Blake and Juan Dixon.
You hear coaches a lot of time talking about getting over the hump in a ball game, and many times that can be considered taking your first lead. We'll see if that means that for Denver here.
They stood around and tried to get it into Zach last time. This time they use a cross pick to try to get it into him.
Blake still with it. Again battling the shot clock. It's down to 7. Dixon got to put it up. Puts up a tough 3 and hits with Buckner right in his face.
And that was excellent defense for Denver. No doubt about it. They've been the better team on the defensive end, and Juan Dixon pulled it out of somewhere.
How good have the Maryland guys been on 3-pointers the last 2 games? Miller answers right back in the paint again.
Yeah, he's getting picked off, and the Blazer big guys have to come through. Now that's Theo Ratliff. Nate plays Joel the first and third quarters, Theo the second and fourth. Maybe you go to Joel, who's fresh.
Andre Miller had only 4 points coming into this quarter. He's got 15 in the fourth. Dixon again. Yes! This one from just inside the 3-point line.
He's third in the entire NBA in field goal percentage in the fourth quarter. This is not by accident.
No help again. Miller blows baseline. And Steve Blake is told to force Miller baseline. He did. There was no help on the baseline.
That's what Nate's defense does. It forces him to the baseline, and you've got to leave Nahara and Kenyon Martin.
Offensive foul on Juan Dixon, his second foul. Enormous call in the ball game.
Well, that time Buckner really muscled Juan. He was bumping him. And to get him off of him, Juan Dixon retaliated and got the foul called on him. That's why they have Buckner in the game.
Miller's been the man. Buckner for 3, and it's home.
Boy, the Blazers need a timeout and get it.
This is Denver's largest lead of the game. 1:13 left. Well, Denver now on top, 97-94. They waited a long time in this ball game until about the 46-minute mark to grab their first lead. And Andre Miller, what a fourth quarter he has had.
Andre Miller's 6 for 8 in this second half. He was 2 for 7 in the first half. And the Blazers are playing Carmelo and other Denver Nuggets so much they're forgetting about that Andre Miller is a scorer. 17 fourth quarter points. Unbelievable.
And then Greg Buckner. The first 3-pointer of the game for Denver. They're 1 for 10 now. Buckner hits it there, and the celebration follows. Now, weren't we just in this position a few nights ago?
Sure were. Buckner was a good 3-point shooter last year. He had 49 3-pointers. This year, he doesn't have the playing time, and he doesn't have nearly as much, so the Blazers played off of him a little bit.
Blake out top. Denver continues with the swarming double-teaming defense.
Yeah, they used Zach as a decoy.
Dixon thought he was hit on the arm. The rebound down low, Carmelo.
Travis Outlaw didn't go to the offensive boards. He went late. He either got to go to the boards or not. They have Travis in there for his jump shot instead of Rubin.
Andre Miller trying to back down Blake. Takes a really difficult shot. Not a good shot. The rebound, Zach Randolph has made the fair catch. Blake thought about the 3. Nearly pulled the trigger. Crowd wouldn't have minded. They want him to again. Steve cut off, out of bounds. Lost the ball, out of bounds to Denver.
Boy, and they had Denver. They had Carmelo Anthony on Blake. Blake didn't pull the trigger. George Karl was over there yelling for Carmelo to get out on Steve Blake. And here, Steve just loses the dribble as he was looking in to see where Zach Randolph was. Now, you got to make a decision. The Blazers will have 4 seconds leeway, so they probably won't foul here. Boykins will control the ball the whole 24 seconds and then get a high pick and roll from Carmelo.
Boykins a very good free throw shooter. Look at George Karl out on the floor at midcourt. Boykins floater, no. Rebound, Zach. Portland takes time. Boy, they took the timeout with 4.4 seconds left. There's only 3 now. We'll see if they add time. I doubt
Yeah,
it.
they've got to add time.
3 seconds left for the Trailblazers, trailing by 3. Well, they've put .7 back on the clock. It was at 3 seconds. Let's take a look at the replay when the timeout was called. Steve Blake is calling it there. Theo Ratliff is calling it there. It's pretty darn close.
Yeah, that's you got to call it almost in the air as you come down with it. The Blazers would have had 4.2. They let it run a little bit, so it's 3.7. Charles Smith goes in the game. Juan Dixon in the game. You've got all 3-point shooters. You got to include Zach in that. Nahara is on Travis Outlaw. He'll front him and push him towards the basket. You can't take a 2-pointer here. It's got to be a 3-pointer. You got room for 1 pass after the inbounds.
Blake gets it back from Zach. He's fouled out top. Again, about a good half a second ticked off the clock. After the foul, they won't put time back on this time.
And they had 1 to give, so the Blazers have to take their last 20 simply because with 1.6, you got to have something special if you're going to shoot a 3-point play.
So Denver trailing in this ball game by as many as 12 on a couple of different occasions. The Blazers played certainly well enough to win this ball game and have shot well enough, that's for sure. 53% still on the night. Once again, late, not able to sustain and maintain the lead they have built. But once again, playing a very, very quality opponent. Nobody has been hotter than Denver. 6 wins in a row, 8 of their last 9. They're 10-12 in the month of January, but another Western Conference elite with its hands full here at the Rose Garden.
And they'll play on the far side. Everyone will front, and they'll let anybody that wants to go to the basket go to the basket. So the Blazers will be looking at a defense that normally you can pick somebody off, but they'll be all on the other side. And no one will be protecting the basket for Denver, and that's the way they should play it because the Blazers have 1 option left, and that's to shoot a 3-point shot.
So Steve Blake will inbound.
And I think it'll be Travis Outlaw that'll take his shot.
Travis is 1 for 22 on the season from behind the 3-point line. Blake holding. Outlaw catches, throws up a wild 3, put it off the glass, nearly got it, but that will do it. And a disappointing loss to be sure for the Trailblazers in this game, as they felt they had control most of the night but could never establish total control. And the Nuggets come back to win their 7th straight ball game, and they improve to 11-2 in the month of January. We'll have much more from the Rose Garden.